Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Key to Learn English, the podcast where we learn real English through real psychology and real conversations. Today's topic is something many people never talk about openly, but everyone feels it deeply. Why do we fear failure? Why does the idea of failing make our heart beat faster? Why does a small mistake feel like the end of the world? Let's explore this together, in simple English, with real stories and clear psychology.
Hey Sarah, I'm actually excited for this one, because failure is something that all of us experience. Even successful people fail, again and again. But still, failure feels scary, and sometimes it stops us from even trying.
Exactly, Ryan. The fear of failure is not just an emotion. It's a very old survival habit inside our brain. Today we're going to break it down step by step. Why we fear failure, how it affects our mind, and how we can overcome it. Let's begin. Long ago, humans lived in dangerous environments. If they failed at hunting, they had no food. If they failed at finding shelter, they could die in the cold. If they failed to follow the tribe, they were punished or abandoned. So our brain learned something important. Failure equals danger. Thousands of years later, life is very different, but the brain still thinks the same way.
Yes, even if today's failure is small, like getting a bad grade or making a mistake in English or not getting a job, the brain reacts as if something terrible will happen. It sends signals, ! Be careful! Don't take risks! What if people judge you? This is why we feel fear before trying anything new.
Another big reason we fear failure is because society attaches shame to it. From school to work, we hear, "Don't make mistakes. Be perfect. If you fail, you're not good enough." Slowly, our mind starts believing, if I fail, people will think I am useless. And that thought hurts more than the failure itself.
Exactly. Sometimes we are not afraid of failing. We are afraid of people laughing, people judging, people thinking negative, losing respect, disappointing others. This social pressure makes failure scary. Let me share a small story. When I was in school, I failed one math test. It wasn't a big deal, but the teacher announced everyone's marks loudly. My number was low. The class laughed. I felt embarrassed. That day I learned something wrong. Failure equals shame. It took me years to unlearn that.
Here's another reason. People fear failure because failure feels like losing control. When things go well, we feel strong. When things go wrong, we feel powerless. The brain doesn't like uncertainty. Example, starting a business, learning a new skill, applying for a job, speaking English in front of others. Your brain says, don't do it, because if you fail, you lose control. But real growth comes only when you step into situations you can't control perfectly.
Yes, we want life to be smooth, predictable, and comfortable. But learning, success, progress, they all happen in uncertainty. That's why people who grow quickly are the ones who accept uncertainty. They don't fear failure. They fear not trying.
You know that little voice in your mind? The one that says, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if they laugh at you? That voice is our inner critic. It tries to protect us, but sometimes it protects too much. It creates fear that doesn't exist.
Right. The inner critic doesn't show us the full picture. It only shows the worst-case scenario, the problems, the risks, the mistakes. But it never shows the growth, the learning, the opportunities, the confidence after trying. Our job is to balance this voice.
This is deep but important. Many people believe if I succeed, I am worthy. If I fail, I am nothing. So failure doesn't feel like a small event. It feels personal. It feels like I failed equals I am a failure. But that is not true. Successful people fail more than unsuccessful people, but they don't tie their identity to mistakes.
Yes, exactly. Take any successful person, a business leader, actor, artist, athlete. They all failed more times than we can count. But they understood something. Failure is an event, not a personality. Failure is temporary, not permanent. Once you understand this, fear starts to disappear.
Many people fear failure because they expect perfection. They think, everything must go perfectly. I shouldn't make mistakes. I have to do it right on the first try. This mindset guarantees fear. Perfection is an impossible standard.
Let me share something funny. When people start learning English, they expect to speak perfectly from day one. But even native speakers make mistakes every day. Perfection creates fear. Progress creates growth. Switch your mindset. Don't aim to be perfect. Aim to be better than yesterday.
Failure feels huge when the goal is huge. Example, I want to speak fluent English. I want a successful business. I want big money. I want a perfect body. These goals are beautiful, but too big. When the goal is too big, the brain panics. But when goals are small, fear disappears.
Yes, you don't climb a mountain in one jump. You climb it step by step. You don't become fluent in one day. You learn small pieces daily. Fear comes from imagining the whole journey. Confidence comes from taking the next step.
This is psychological. People fear failure because failure hurts the ego. The ego wants to feel smart, capable, respected. Failure makes the ego feel small, weak, embarrassed. So the ego says, don't try. If you don't try, you can't fail. But this is a trap.
Exactly. Avoiding failure protects the ego, but destroys the future. Trying and failing hurts temporarily. Not trying hurts forever. Now, let's talk solutions.
Solution 1. Accept failure as part of growth. Say this to yourself. Failure is feedback, not punishment. Every failure teaches something.
Solution 2. Focus on learning, not results. Shift your mindset. I must succeed. I must learn. When you focus on learning, fear disappears.
Solution 3. Start small. Break big goals into tiny steps. Tiny steps remove fear.
Solution 4. Talk kindly to yourself. Replace, what if I fail, with, what if I grow?
Solution 5. Don't hide your mistakes. Mistakes are normal. They show you are trying. Success starts where comfort ends.
Failure teaches courage. Failure builds character. Failure makes you wiser. Every great story starts with a failure.
Yes, success is not the opposite of failure. Success is built on failure. Failure is the classroom. Success is the graduation.
Don't fear failure. Fear not trying. Fear staying the same. Fear wasting your potential.
Thank you for listening to Key to Learn English. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next podcast. And remember, failure doesn't stop you. Not trying does.